Hey you guys, it's your girl Josh coming back to Frontal Takes. Today I'll be doing a review to a movie titled Upgrade, starring Logan Marshall Green and directed by Leigh Whannell. Now this movie I really enjoyed, you guys. I had saw the trailer late fall, and of course it had a Red Band trailer come out not that long after that. And let's just say that my interest was piqued. I didn't want to watch any other TV spots because they started showing things, and I just tried to avoid that. And I can just tell you, it was a very good movie. This is a sci-fi type of film, and it was very gritty at times. I will say, the way it's introduced, Logan Marshall Green's character, his name is Gray, and he's good with his hands. He likes to build cars, and he has one very reclusive individual named Enron, who is like a kind of like a computer genius, and he drops off the vehicle for him. He does meet him. He brings his wife Asha with him, and he goes to show him this his client, whichever where he lives. In the midst of that, after he drops it off, he ends up leaving. They're in what looks like to be a futuristic type of cab, and it kind of has a malfunction and causes an accident. And from there, they end up getting mugged, and with that, he loses his wife, and he's shot where he becomes paralyzed. Now, there's a scene towards the beginning where the computer genius is, making little comments about, technology and the things they can do. And he's like, well, then that's going to, of course, Gray's character played by Logan would, take offense to this. Like, well, then where will be people like me? I can't do work. You want to make everything more, technology forward, whatever. And all. There's some people who still want to go out there and do the work, whatever, you could tell. So from there, he comes across him while he's in the hospital. He finds, of course, his wife is gone, whatever, and all. He's just kind of depressed, and obviously so. But then the young genius shows up saying, I have a way to help you. He, pitches it to him, of some sort of, way of him having some sort of surgery where he can put some sort of implant into him. And it's called STEM to help him to start over, rebuild his life, whichever. At first, he kind of shuns him off, but he makes a keen statement to him, which resonates, and he decides to reach out to him. He does the surgery, and, it shows him, of course, in the trailer, standing. He puts down his little, crutches, cane, whichever, you see scenes where he's running, just trying to get back into it. And he's like, you need to keep this to yourself. You have to sign a waiver, whichever. So, of course, there's a scene, of course, in the trailer you see where he's talking to himself, and it is STEM that's talking to him, unbeknownst to nobody else around him, only he can hear. And then from there, STEM decides he wants to help him. He gets research from what looks like to be one of the detectives named Cortez, played by Betty Gabrielle, from Get Out fame. She, reaches out, to him, and he goes to see her at the police department with his mother. And he's like, if you want to be a part of this, help. He's like, how can I help you? I can't move my limbs, so things kind of change when STEM comes into the play. He helps him, he makes him do things that he would never normally not do, and then kind of enjoy those scenes that were coming up where you think, he can't, help himself, whichever and all that, but then of course now he has to hide that he's able to walk, so he has to find certain ways to do things, which I actually enjoyed throughout the movie, him trying to be elusive about it, all the while trying to maintain, the secrecy that he's supposed to have. He's not supposed to be doing anything that cause, any harm and hurt. But I do love, like they showed in the trailer, he goes into someone's house and he's not very bright about certain ways of not being caught, and of course a fight ensues. And when those first fight happens, it is a very good scene, a very graphic scene, I might tell you. But I loved it. When I saw the Red Band trailer, I knew what I was in for. So when you go in there, you can't have like a very light, stomach to take the scenes that you see throughout the movie, because some of them can get pretty graphic. And I will say this, there's another character in this movie that I really enjoyed besides Gray, played by Logan. It's the gentleman who calls himself, Fisk. I like his overall demeanor and personality within the movie, because you can fully tell that he has been fully changed the way he carried himself. I mean, very technological and everything. Like with Logan, he still has the appearances of feeling, he still has his humanity. But then, certain things happen throughout the overall movie that shows that it's being taken slowly away from him, whichever and all that. I don't want to give that part, too much of that away for you to spoil it. Rather, you all go out and see this, because I feel it's a really good movie to watch. Secondly, I love the scenes where certain instances where he was having his moment of losing his wife, or he was, rebuilding himself, now he could walk because of the stem, and his, that neck implant. There was the music. The music of the movie was really good, how it would convey a certain scene, and that music would come into play, whichever. I love some of the music that was used, the musical choices, so to speak. And like I said, the action sequences were good. I enjoyed Betty Gabriel's character in this. Times could be such a nuisance because it's like, you don't want him to be too involved, but you want to make him feel like he's involved by helping you. But then, at the pace they would think she could figure out things and what's going on, it's not happening. So as I said, he had to take matters in his own hand, of course, with the help of STEM. So, but yes, it was, overall a good movie. Like I said, action packed. The overall story plot was, for what it is, it's a revenge story of sorts, let's just say. Now, if I had to do comparisons, honestly, with you guys, I would say this reminds me of, say, for instance, revenge-wise, like, say, for instance, like Death Wish, like, granted, Charles Bronson, he lost his, wife, and then his traumatized daughter. Of course, he loses his wife in this, and he goes out to get revenge. Similar to this, now that he knows that he's able to walk and do things, and with the help of permission of giving to Grant STEM, he's able to make him do certain things, whatever, and all that. I can say with the technology aspect, within him, something like Transcendence, RoboCop. Some people might agree with me even if I say something similar to like Hardcore Henry. Those are the type of movies that jump into my head off the cuff that I can think of that reminds me of certain, instances within the movie. So, but yes, like I said, a good storyline overall. The ending overall, let's just say there's a good reveal about how things came to be and why things happened the way it did to Gray and Asha. Honestly, I keep trying to think, could they do another one? The way it could go, honestly, either way. That's why I said I'd rather you guys see it and then you just come below, let me know what you think about that part. But yeah, it could really go either way. There's any way you could take it the way it ended, and like I said, I do not really want to spoil it for you guys for you to really see what I mean by that. But the pacing of it was pretty good. Like I said, like all the action was really good. Some of the commentary with him being, very overly funny, especially if you all remember the trailer where he has a scene in the kitchen telling the man to stay down, just hilarious. Oh my goodness. Some of the comments that he says, were just too funny at times, whatever. So it was like, it wasn't too far-fetched, with people laughing in the audience, because I had quite a few people with me in my particular theater. So we all enjoyed it, we, gasped at certain parts, we laughed at certain parts and all. So I actually, could say, I had a good, movie audience in my particular theater. So none of us had an issue with it. We all left very satisfied. And honestly, this was a good movie. I enjoyed director Lane Whannell directing this. I look forward to him doing some more. I don't know if this is the area he's going to stay into, because it seems like he does do a lot of stuff that's mostly horror based. So you never know. He could be, because this could be his little thing. Granted, he's worked with James Wan, so that's another, reason why I bring that up. So, kudos to him. It was done very well. Budget wise, I don't know the budget on this. Something makes me think, since he's worked on things in the past and probably present with this one, where it's considered more of an independent, so they don't have a lot of room or money to work with, so they just kind of work with what they got and they make the best out of it. Because when you look at the movie, the way everything looked with the cinematography, I mean, nothing looked, the CGI, nothing. Everything looked great. I enjoyed everything about this movie. There's nothing I could really say that was bad about the movie, honestly. I really can't. So I'm very glad about that, because, I'm not going to nitpick, because there's really nothing. Like I stated, honestly, the only thing I can think of that I'm kind of, up in arms is how they could move it along, or how overall ended really with Gray's character. But other than that, nothing really. I have nothing else to give on that. But overall, again, out of a 10, I give it about 8.5. I really enjoyed it. So you know what, you guys, that is all I have for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment below if you all have seen it, and what's your take. Don't kind of spoil it if you don't have to. I don't want to take it away from somebody else who hasn't seen it yet and then wants to come back and just kind of give me their 2 cents on that. So with that said, you guys, I will see you guys on the next review. You guys take care.